Every couple of years, NVIDIA releases a graphics card that reshapes the future of gaming, and the GeForce RTX 5090 is no exception. While the performance jump over the RTX 4090 might not always be dramatic, especially without DLSS frame generation, the real standout is NVIDIA's next-gen DLSS. This technology enhances both performance and image quality, making it feel like a major upgrade, especially if you're gaming on a 4K display or higher. For those who aren't rocking a high-end setup, the 5090 might not seem necessary just yet, but for serious gamers, DLSS and AI-generated frames provide a sneak peek into gaming's future. The RTX 5090 is powered by NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture, built for both gaming and AI tasks, with an improved VRAM of 32GB GDDR7 memory. It's a powerhouse that consumes 575 watts of power, so efficiency isn't the focus here, but raw performance certainly is. NVIDIA also revamped DLSS with a transformer neural network to improve image quality, reducing issues like ghosting. Plus, the new multi-frame generation boosts frame rates more efficiently than before. If you're looking to pick one up, the Founders Edition starts at $2,000, though third-party models may be more expensive. Despite the power draw, NVIDIA has managed to fit the RTX 5090 into a more compact design, making it easier to fit into smaller case. The testing was done on an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D, an Asus ROG Crosshair X870E Hero motherboard, 32GB of G-Skill Trident Z5 Neo RAM running at 6000 MHz, and a 4TB Samsung 990 Pro SSD. Now let's dive into the benchmark results. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5090 is an incredibly powerful graphics card, but testing it was quite a journey. In 3D Mark, the RTX 5090 demonstrated a significant generational improvement over the RTX 4090 in terms of raw performance. However, when testing actual games, things became more complicated. In most games, the RTX 5090 is bottlenecked by my CPU, even at 4K, and I paired it with the Ryzen 7 9800X3D, the fastest gaming processor currently available. For most gamers who already own a high-end graphics card, upgrading to this $2,000 GPU isn't going to make a dramatic difference. The games just aren't there yet. This is more of a future-proof graphics card, one you'd buy to prepare for upcoming PC games like The Witcher 4. In Call of Duty Black Ops 6, at 4K extreme settings with DLSS set to performance, the RTX 5090 achieved 161 FPS, compared to 146 FPS from the RTX 4090. That's just a 10% performance increase, which isn't exactly a next-gen leap. However, when looking back at the RTX 3090, which got 91 FPS, the improvement is almost 2 times. Cyberpunk 2077 was another interesting case. Despite being one of the most demanding PC games on the market, the RTX 5090 still showed signs of CPU bottlenecking. At 4K with the Ray Tracing Ultra preset and DLSS set to performance, the RTX 5090 achieved 125 FPS compared to the RTX 4090's 112 FPS. That's again only a 10% uplift. The scaling became worse at lower resolutions, with the RTX 5090 hitting 153 FPS at 4040p and 156 FPS at 1080p. Moving to Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, I tested it with DLSS disabled to ensure a fair comparison with AMD cards. This is one of the most demanding tests in my suite. At 4K with the Extreme preset, the RTX 5090 hit 95 FPS, compared to 76 FPS from the RTX 4090 and 44 FPS from the Radeon RX 7900 XTX. That's a 25% improvement over the RTX 4090 and more than double the 39 FPS from the RTX 3090. Red Dead Redemption 2, while an older game, remains visually stunning. At 4K with every setting maxed out and DLSS set to performance, the RTX 5090 achieved 167 FPS compared to 151 FPS from the RTX 4090. The RTX 3090, by comparison, got 92 FPS. In this game, which doesn't use ray tracing, the RTX 5090 only delivered a modest 6% performance boost over the RTX 4090. In Total War Warhammer 3, a game without ray tracing or upscaling, the RTX 5090 showcased its raw rasterization performance. It achieved 147 FPS compared to the RTX 4090's 107 FPS, delivering a 35% uplift. While impressive, it still falls short of the 67% performance difference that the RTX 4090 had over the RTX 3090. Assassin's Creed Mirage was a bit of a head-scratcher. Initially, the RTX 5090 was underperforming, with its game clock limited to 772 MHz, resulting in just 50 FPS at 4K. After resolving that issue, it managed 172 FPS, which is still lower than the RTX 4090's 183 FPS. To make matters worse, the frame rate was spiky and plagued with microstutters. This is likely a driver bug and should be treated as an outlier. In Black Myth Wukong, a visually demanding title, the RTX 5090 averaged 104 FPS at 4K, with the cinematic preset and DLSS set to 40%. The RTX 4090, using the same settings, managed 84 FPS. That's a 20% boost in favor of the RTX 5090. Lastly, in Forza Horizon 5, the RTX 5090 averaged 216 FPS compared to the RTX 4090's 210 FPS. At this point, the difference is negligible and falls within the margin of error. This result highlights the limitations of aging games and the impact of CPU bottlenecking at higher resolutions. So, is the RTX 5090 worth the $2,000 price tag? Honestly, for most people with a high-end GPU, I'd say wait. This card is more about future-proofing than dominating today's games. But if you're still rocking very older hardware, the upgrade is huge. What do you think? Are you planning to grab the RTX 5090, or are you holding out for something else? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more awesome content. See you in the next one.